Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the green. No, that's different. Welcome to the Garden of God of Davida. Okay, welcome to the Garden of Eating. Anyway, look at my radishes. They're all starting to pop up real good. So I brought out a bunch of my other plants that I had started in the house, and they weren't getting enough sun in that room because the sun has moved its trek across the sky, and I was starting to get just sun early morning and then a couple hours, and that was it. So they're all outside here hardening up a little bit before they go in the ground, and I just kind of set them out as to where I'm thinking about planting them. Now that tray over there has heirloom tomatoes in it, and a lot more than I really need, but I'll get those separated out and planted. I'll plant the strongest of the group. And the other three on the other side of it are sweet basil. And I will be putting the basil plants in between my tomato plants. For those of you who don't know it, growing basil next to tomatoes, they are companion plants. But growing basil next to tomatoes will actually give them a sweeter taste. They'll get brighter red and have a sweeter taste to them. So you do want to put basil in next to your tomatoes if you can. So that'll be going in there. And then over here I have my cantaloupe and a companion plant of cantaloupe radishes. So I got a little spot right there by that arrow that nothing came up at. So I'm going to stick that in right there and get that going. And I will be using those augers up there on the shelf. Remember my planter augers that I showed you? Those things make planting easy. When I do all of these tomatoes, I can drill all the holes for all of those tomatoes in just a little more than 1 minute. It's really amazing. If I can, I'll try to get a picture of that or a shot of that in the video. But yeah, just and then I got all the holes all drilled, and then I can sprinkle a little bit of 15 15 15 into the bottoms of the holes, put a little dirt back in to cover the fertilizer so that the roots of the plant don't touch it directly, because that will burn the roots of a plant. But I'll also be putting worm castings, and I've run some eggshell through the blender and powdered it. So I'll be putting some of that in there because tomato plants love calcium. So hopefully I get a good crop of tomatoes. The ones up against the back end there are delicious tomatoes. Those are small round salad tomatoes, just right for chopping up into a salad. The ones next to them are Romas, and you only see 3 there, but there's actually 5 plants. There's 2 plants in that bucket and 2 plants in that bucket. So those will get separated out, and it'll be 5 across there. And in the back, there's only one with 2 plants in it. I'll probably just take the weakest one out of the 3 out, because I want to stagger them so they have space to grow their roots. A good root system is important for tomatoes. So over there, all the way in the back, you see some other green pots and black pots. And I got my cucumbers over there. Let me get up off my lazy butt here. There's a breeze that's been picking up here, and I hope it's not drowning me out too badly. As you can see, it's blowing things around. The geoengineers have been real busy today. I took a couple of pictures of the crisscrossing they did in the sky, but now it's just all joined together and made it partly cloudy. That's what they claim they're doing, is they're making clouds to cool the earth down. Anyway, there's the cucumbers, and I have a total of 5 cucumber plants there. And I've strung a wire from here to there across the poles, and I'll be hanging strings like I did there for the sweet peas. And I'll hang strings down here, and it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cucumber plants going across this way. Now they're going to grow up pretty big, and they may shade the plants over here, but that's okay, because what I planted over here is basically cabbage, spinach, kale, and broccoli. I'm mispronouncing it. Let me get it right. Spinach, kabaga, kale, and with the silent K, and broccoli. So that's cilantro over there, peas over there, asparagus over there, some more asparagus over here, some cilantro in behind there, and then these are large cherry red tomatoes. Now I had, each one of those cups had two plants growing in it, and something happened. I got down to the bottom of one of the rain barrels, and I used the water from there, even though it came out looking a little on the orange side. And a lot of the plants just all of a sudden died off right after watering with those. So I think there was something wrong with that, the sediment that dropped out of that rainwater. That's why I don't drink rainwater. Anyway, that got that all taken care of. I also brought out the peach tree and the plum tree. And that little peach tree over there, for some reason, every time I plant a new peach tree in that box, it dies. So I'm not going to plant anything in that box this year. I might put one of the vegetables in there or something, and see how that does. But I'll dig out the soil and put in some fresh garden soil, which I have over there. I have some Miracle Grow garden soil. The amend will be going in the holes of the tomato plants along with the fertilizers, and that gives them the ability to absorb a lot of water. All right, last before I get out of here, last but not least, look at how big these things are getting. And guess what I found out? I used my plant app to take pictures of them, because there's quite a few of them coming up. And I don't know if my seeds, one of the packs of seeds, was contaminated with them, but they seem to be growing in sort of an order, like a row. So I thought that it was something that I planted, but apparently it's not. And if you look in the description and also in the comments, I will leave a comment and I'll tell you what that is, and see if anybody gets the guess right. All right, the potatoes are coming up just perfectly, doing really well. Potato over here, this should be red potato. It looks like the ground is swelling up there, so I bet you there's a bunch of potatoes underneath that plant right there. But I hope they spread out and go through the whole box. Still got some growing time on the potatoes. I'll probably have to get them out of there as soon as the summer heat gets here. All right, everybody. Oh, spinach is sprouting. See that? Got two of them over there, got one here, and I got over here, I got one and a little baby one right there. So the spinach doing its thing. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have a pretty good harvest this year. I'm going to be trimming some of this non-productive pear tree back. I don't need all these branches sticking out like this. But the thing about a pear tree is it doesn't like a lot of hot sun on its trunk. So I have to keep enough to keep the trunk shaded before the summer gets too hot here. But I did graft a bunch of apples into this pear tree, and a pear tree from the other pear tree over there. So I will start getting production on this. So I don't want to damage it by taking too much off. But I don't want a bunch of this growing out like this and shading my garden either. All right, everybody. Plants in there doing great. It's about 120 degrees in there right now. So I'm not going over that way. I've been sitting out here in this chair and I get to look over the garden and get ideas and plant some thoughts. Hey, how do you fertilize your thoughts? All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Don't forget thumbs up. Don't forget to share and subscribe. G Bear, signing off.